You've been reading Calm People completely wrong. There's someone in your life who never raises their voice, never argues back, never explains themselves, never panics. And for some reason, that person makes you uncomfortable. Not because they're mean, not because they're cold, but because you can't rattle them, you can't read them, you can't shake them. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you know that kind of person has a power most people will never understand. Today, that changes. Because in this video, we're going to talk about where that power comes from, why most people completely misread it, and how you can start building it, starting today. And I promise you, by the end of this, you are going to see calm people very, very differently. Let's get into it. And if you're new here, welcome to Stickology world, where life makes more sense in stick figure. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a video like this one. Chapter 1. The Misunderstanding about Calm. Here's the first thing almost everyone gets wrong. Most people think calm people are just lucky, born relaxed, blessed with easy lives, never really tested by anything serious. Wrong. The calmest people you've ever met have usually been through the most. They are not calm because nothing bad happened to them. They are calm because so much happened to them, and they survived every single one. Here's what cognitive psychology actually tells us. The nervous system can be trained, just like a muscle. When you expose yourself to stress, real stress, and you push through it, your brain updates its understanding of the world. It basically logs, "Okay, we survived that. Less panic needed next time." Do that enough times, and your brain stops treating every problem like a 5-alarm emergency. It starts treating problems like problems. Manageable, solvable, survivable. That's not being emotionless. That's being trained. And people who haven't built that yet, they read calm people completely wrong. They think calm means weak. They think quiet means clueless. They think unbothered means they don't care. No, calm means in control. Quiet means watching. Unbothered means they already know how this ends, and they're not afraid of it. That's not lucky. That's built. And that is exactly what makes them dangerous. But here's where it gets interesting. Because calm isn't just a personality thing. It's actually a brain thing. And in the next chapter, we're going to go inside the mind of a calm person and show you exactly what's happening up there that most people never experience. Chapter 2. What's actually happening inside a calm person's brain? Let's talk about what is actually going on inside someone who never seems to crack. When a stressful situation hits, an argument, a setback, a surprise, most people go straight into reaction mode. Heart rate spikes, thoughts race, mouth moves before the brain even catches up. And then, regret. That's what psychologists call an amygdala hijack. Your brain's threat detection system fires so fast it completely bypasses your rational thinking. You're not responding to the situation. You're reacting to the feeling of it. Now, here's what happens inside a trained, calm mind under that exact same pressure. The threat signal fires, same as everyone else. But then something different happens. There's a pause. A tiny, almost invisible pause. And in that pause, the prefrontal cortex steps in. That's the part of your brain responsible for logic, decisions, and emotional regulation. It says, "I've got this." And that pause changes everything. It's the difference between saying something you'll regret and saying exactly what needs to be said. It's the difference between panicking and planning. It's the difference between losing control and becoming the person the whole room looks to when things go wrong. That pause is not natural. It is practiced. And the people who have it developed it by doing hard things, on purpose, until discomfort stopped feeling like danger. Now I know what you might be thinking. That sounds great in theory, but what does this actually look like in real life? Let me show you. Chapter 3. Marco's story. The day everything changed. Meet Marco. Marco was the kind of person who wore his emotions on his sleeve, his face, and honestly, sometimes on the ceiling. One wrong word, and you'd feel it. One injustice, and he'd fight it, loudly. And for a long time, he thought that was strength. He was passionate. He was honest. He showed up. But here's what that was actually costing him. His boss stopped giving him the tough projects because he couldn't predict how Marco would handle pressure. His friends stopped telling him hard truths because they didn't want to deal with the fallout. And his reputation? Slowly, quietly, without anyone saying it out loud, people started seeing Marco as someone who couldn't be trusted when things got hard. Not because he was a bad person, but because a reactive person is an unpredictable person, and unpredictable people make others feel unsafe. Then one day, Marco's business partner blindsided him in a meeting. In front of everyone, old Marco would have exploded, but something different happened. He paused. One breath. He looked at his partner and said, quietly, calmly, "That's interesting. Let's talk about this after the meeting." And then he moved on. The room went completely silent. Not because he was cold, because he was controlled. And in that moment, every single person in that room upgraded their opinion of Marco. Not the loud version, the calm one. Marco told me later, that was the day everything changed. Because that was the day he realized, calm isn't the absence of emotion. It's the mastery of it. And mastery is a weapon. And if you think that's just a nice story, it's not. What Marco experienced that day has a real psychological explanation. And once you understand it, you'll never look at calm the same way again. Quick pause. If you're finding this valuable, please hit the subscribe button right now. We make videos like this every week, all about building a calmer, stronger, more unshakable mind. It would mean the world to this channel. Okay, back to it. Chapter 4. Why calm is actually power. Here's something most self-help videos are afraid to say out loud. Calm people have an unfair advantage. In arguments, the calm person wins. Not always because they're right, but because they're regulated. A regulated mind thinks clearer, speaks sharper, and never gives the other person anything to use against them. In negotiations, the calm person wins. Silence makes the other side uncomfortable. Discomfort makes people talk. And talking too much is how you lose leverage. In leadership, calm people win. Because the moment chaos hits, everyone in the room looks for the person who isn't panicking, and the calm person becomes the anchor, without saying a single word. In relationships, calm people win. Because emotional safety is the most attractive quality a person can have. Nothing says safety like being with someone who doesn't make you walk on eggshells. Here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. Reactivity is a vulnerability. Every time you react emotionally without control, you hand someone else power over your state of mind. You show them exactly which buttons to press. You hand them a map to your weaknesses. But a calm person, they're a closed book, unreadable, unrattled, unbothered, and the most dangerous thing you can be, in any situation, in any room, is a person nobody can destabilize. Because if you can't be destabilized, you can't be manipulated. And if you can't be manipulated, you are free. Now, here's the part most people skip past, and it's costing them everything. Because building calm isn't just about what you start doing, it's about what you need to stop doing first. And right now, without even realizing it, you might be destroying your own calm every single day. Chapter 5. The 3 things that are silently killing your calm. 3 habits. 3 silent killers of inner peace. And I'll be honest, you've probably done all 3 today. Number 1. Constant stimulation. Your brain was not designed for the amount of input it receives in the modern world. Notifications, news, noise, non-stop. Every ping is a tiny alarm signal to your nervous system. Every scroll is a hit of dopamine, followed immediately by a drop into emptiness. And when your brain lives in constant stimulation mode, it never gets a chance to regulate. It stays stuck in a low-level state of alert, all day, every day. That is not peace. That is the opposite of calm. Number 2, avoiding difficult conversations. This one is sneaky because it feels like calm. You don't bring it up. You let it go. You keep the silence. But unspoken tension doesn't disappear. It stores. It builds. And eventually, all that stored emotion explodes over something completely unrelated. Suddenly, you're furious about a coffee cup, but really, you're talking about the last 6 months of your life. Avoidance is not calm. It's a pressure cooker with no release valve. Number 3. Comparing your internal world to other people's external performance. You feel chaotic on the inside. They look calm and put together on the outside. So you assume they have something you don't. No, they're filtering. You're watching the highlight reel of someone else's life and comparing it to the raw, unedited version of yours. Calm is not the absence of chaos inside. It's the choice not to let that chaos run the show. Stop these 3 things, and your baseline will shift faster than you think. Okay, so now we know what calm really is. We've seen what it costs people who don't have it. We know what's destroying it. Now, here's the part you actually came for. How do you build it? Chapter 6. How to build unshakable calm, starting today. Here's the truth first. You don't build this overnight, but you absolutely can build it. And it starts with 4 things. Step 1. Do one uncomfortable thing before noon, every single day. Cold shower, difficult email, workout, hard conversation. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is the message you send your brain. We do hard things here, on purpose. Every time you choose discomfort deliberately, you shrink the space between stress and panic. Your nervous system updates. We've been here before. We survived. Less fear next time. Do that consistently, and stress stops triggering panic. It starts triggering focus. Step 2. Practice the pause before you speak. Not a long pause, just one breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In that single breath, your prefrontal cortex has time to show up, and you go from reacting to responding. That one small, practiced consistently, will change how people see you within weeks. Step 3. Protect your input. What you feed your brain becomes your default state. Start your morning with notifications, bad news, and other people's problems, and your baseline becomes reactive. Start your morning with silence, movement, or intention, and your baseline becomes regulated. You don't have to become a monk. Just protect the first 30 minutes of your day like they matter. Because they do. Step 4. Stop at the problem. Don't spiral past it. Something goes wrong. Okay, that's life. That's Tuesday. But reactive people don't just experience the problem. They experience the problem, plus the story about the problem, plus the meaning they assign to it, plus the catastrophe they imagine is coming next. That is not reality. That is a spiral. Calm people stop at the problem itself. This happened. What do I do next? Not, why does this always happen to me? What does it mean? What if it gets worse? Just, this happened. What's next? That shift from spiral to strategy is the foundation of everything. You now have the full picture. What calm actually is. Why it's dangerous in the best possible way. What's destroying yours. And exactly how to start building it. But before we close, I want to leave you with one final thought, because this one matters most. Here's what I need you to take away from this video. Calm is not a personality trait. It is not something you were born with or without. It is a skill, a practiced, trained, deliberately built skill. The people you admire, the ones who walk into a room and shift the energy without saying a word, they didn't get there by accident. They got there by choosing, over and over again, to respond instead of react, to pause instead of panic, to build instead of break. They are dangerous, not because they're cold, but because they cannot be shaken. And here's the part I really need you to hear. That can be you, not someday. Not when life gets easier. Not when you finally feel ready. Now, one pause, one breath, one choice. That's where it begins. Because the most dangerous person in any room is never the loudest one. It's the calmest one. And that person could be you. If this video hit different, share it with one person who needs it right now. And if you want to keep building this kind of mind, subscribe to Stickology World and check out our playlist on mental strength and emotional control. There's a lot more where this came from. I'll see you in the next one. Here at Stickology World, life makes more sense in stick figure.